When I was young, grew up on a farm, and we were poor. And when I was very young, I started picking cotton by hand when I was 2 years old. And I would be out there with my mother, and she would, make sure that I stayed at it and worked hard because she was a very hard worker. My mother could pick more cotton than any of the other women on the farm. She would pick more than 350 pounds a day. And I wasn't that good at it. Even when I got to be grown, I could never pick as much as she could. I could only pick about 250. But anyway, growing up, living on the farm there, and like I said, we were poor. When I got to be, I guess about 8 or 10 years old, they had a summer baseball league where I went to school. They would play on the school field at Mooresville Belle Mina School. And so, and we would play baseball during our recess time at school. But I never had anyone work with me and help me to know really how to play baseball, how to throw the ball correctly, how to keep my eyes on the ball when it was being thrown to me or batted to me, how to keep my eye on the ball when I was batting. I never had anybody work with me on that, so I wasn't that good. So then they started up this summer league, and I wanted to play baseball. I wanted to go play baseball, and one of our neighbors had two boys that were about my age, one a year younger and one a year older, and they played, and I wanted to go play with them. So when I talked to my daddy about it, and he said, well, I don't care if you play, But then he found out that I would be playing in the afternoons. And he said, no, you're not playing baseball. You're going to stay here and work in the cotton field and make money. You need to make money to pay for your clothes and to pay for the things that you need for school. So I never got to play baseball. Then later on, when I was in junior high school, the school had a basketball team. And so I wanted to play basketball. But once again, I didn't have anybody to work with me to help me to improve my skills. I was just kind of on my own. Well, my family had been pretty big into baseball. My Uncle Sam Brown played basketball. My Uncle Sam Brown played basketball. My Uncle Bill Brown played basketball. And my cousins Charles, James, and Jerry Harris played basketball. And they were good. So I tried out for the basketball team when I was in the 7th grade, the junior high team. I didn't make the team. I got cut. I tried out for basketball when I was in the 8th grade, and I got cut that year as well. And I was a tall boy. In the 8th grade, I was 6 feet tall. And so that was kind of disheartening for me because I wasn't good enough to make the team. Well, then after the 8th grade, I talked my dad into buying me a basketball goal and putting it in the yard. So he put me a basketball goal in the yard and had the rim at about 10 feet where it's supposed to be. And it was just grass out there where I was playing. But anyway, I would go outside and shoot a lot on the basketball goal. And I didn't know how to do a jump shot. So I started watching players, how they did a jump shot. So I started off, rather than shooting the ball from down here around my chest, I would bring the ball up over my head and flip it, with my wrist and forearm. And I would do that just standing still. And I started out doing it pretty close to the goal. Then gradually I moved out farther and farther. Then after I kind of got comfortable with that, then I started, as I would bring the ball up, jumping up in the air and then shooting it. And so I basically taught myself how to shoot a jump shot. So when I was in the 9th grade, it came time for the basketball team to be organized, and I went out and tried out again. And I made sure that the coach saw me and knew that I knew how to shoot a jump shot. And so that year, I got picked for the basketball team and started practicing with them. And before we had our first game, I was chosen to be a starter. And so I played basketball that year for our 9th grade junior high team. And then later on went on to high school, and I played on the B team for 2 years. And then when I was a senior, I started on the varsity. And back then the schools were segregated, so it was all white people going to the school. I went to Tanner High School in Limestone County. And I became the first person at Tanner High School to ever dunk the basketball. And so I was really proud of that. And every day I would practice and practice dunking. And I would get better and better at it, and I would get higher. And I would get to where I could dunk it harder. And so we had a pretty good team that year. We came in like second in the county, and the team that beat us was Clements High School, and they went on to win the state championship for the state of Alabama. They were a really good team. So that's my experience of playing sports. I tried playing football a little bit, but I wasn't very good at that. I was really skinny when I was young. I was 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 175 pounds. And that's not very good for playing football. So I did get to play a little bit, but I did not excel in football either. But I did enjoy basketball. Later on in life, after I got back from the Army, I went on to play basketball for Calhoun Community College for a man by the name of Coach Shuttleworth. And he was a really good coach. And he worked with me and taught me a lot of things that I had never learned about basketball. And at one time during our season at Calhoun Community College, we were ranked 4th in the nation in community colleges. And we had been to some invitational tournaments where we went and played schools that were really good. We played against the school that was ranked number 2 in the country, and we beat them. And so I enjoyed my time there at Calhoun and playing for Coach Shuttleworth. He was a good man.